What's going on, you guys? Hey, we back for episode 3, part 2 to the last podcast we did last Wednesday. And we are very excited to be on once again because this time will be different on our Financial Fashion Talk podcast because we are interacting with you guys on another level. We're going to be experimenting with a new segment called Question Us, by the end of this podcast. So we want to thank you guys again for tuning in this week. So this is part 2 of episode 3 of Financial Fashion Talk podcast. And I'm the CEO, Mr. Best.
And I'm the CFO, Mr. George Best.
Yeah, man. And we here again on the topic of persistence, man. And we want to go ahead and jump right into it because we're getting on kind of late. And also this is part 2 to the last podcast. So we don't have to really waste time, just talking about stuff that don't really got to do with our topic. So okay, persistence. So man, but anyway, CFO, man, how was your day today, bro?
Man, my day was crazy, man. But nevertheless, you know what I mean? I was persistent through it. And I'm back here live on episode 3, part 2, man, talking about being more persistent, man.
Okay, bro. So, man, like we said last podcast, the what persistence mean, it got a lot of definitions to it. We never really look up the literal definition of what persistence is. So what we're gonna do now is really just look up what it means, bro. So everybody have the same definition of what persistence actually mean, and we'll go from there. Because I mean, man, honestly, bro, we all go through stuff in life. True.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? We all go through things in life that kind of try to put stumbling blocks in our way. So the gist of the definition of persistence is continuing to go forward even though you get beat with the opposition. So what's the definition of
All right. The definition of persistence: firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition.
Say that again, bro, because I think everybody really need to hear the definition of this word because it really the literal definition really explains what it is. So say it a little louder.
All right, one more time. The definition of persistence is firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition.
Hey, bro, I thought about something before we even got in here.
What's that?
And one of the things that I wanted to talk about and bring to the podcast is knowing your why versus knowing your purpose.
Most definitely.
Because I put it like this, bro. I'm gonna ask you that question first. I'm gonna ask you that question, like what you feel like the difference is, the difference between your reason why you're doing something and your purpose for doing something. Like what you feel like the difference is, the difference between your why and the difference between your purpose.
Well, I feel like you know your why. That's gonna actually lead you in a stronger desire to fulfill your purpose. You know what I mean? So, but knowing your purpose is first and foremost. You know what I mean? This is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion.
Right. Just
I'm not saying this stating fact, but knowing your why is what I believe. Is gonna give you the will to persevere in your purpose. You know what I mean? Because without knowing what your purpose is, you're not gonna know why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. So you have to know your why. I mean, you have to know your purpose before you can get your why.
I mean, I put it like this, bro. I thank you for your viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? Because it all goes together hand in hand. But this is how I started to see, the difference between your reason why you're doing the thing and your purpose. You have a reason why you do a lot of things. It's just like you have a job, right?
Definitely.
One of the reasons why people have jobs is because they have bills.
Right.
And they have children.
Right.
So that could be your reason why.
Right.
But see, your purpose is like a broader picture. You see what I'm saying? Like, why am I like the end result, the result of what I'm doing? Like, that's your purpose. Your purpose is like, it's like on a macro scale. Like your why is like, without a why, you can't get a purpose because your purpose is bigger than your why. Just like I got a testimony about having a reason why versus having a purpose. Just like when I first got started in business, mama was my purpose.
Right.
No, mama was my why. She wasn't my purpose.
Right.
You know, I started first getting into businesses, you know, network marketing companies or whatnot. Mm-hmm. You know, stuff that's going to guarantee me a future. But my reason why was, okay, I got a mother that I want to retire.
Right.
But you see, my purpose, I didn't know my purpose then. I knew my reason why I wanted to do it, but I didn't know my purpose.
Right.
You see, my purpose is the reason why I live. Like, why? Like, what's the bigger picture? Like, why? What's the real reason why I'm doing all of this? We do things because of the end result.
Right.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
See, your purpose is like it has more depth.
Right.
Like, you know the outcome of what you're doing.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? Besides, you have no vision. You don't have to have vision to have a reason why.
Right.
But you got to have vision to have a purpose.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference between having, you know, knowing your reason why you're doing the thing and actually knowing your purpose. Right. Because your purpose is like the bigger picture. Like, what's the ultimate reason you're doing the thing?
Right.
Just like the reason we're on this podcast tonight.
Right.
The reason why could be because we love to talk to people.
Right. That could be why.
Exactly.
Right.
But, you know, we're here because of purpose.
Right.
Because the ultimate goal is to empower the world, you know what I'm saying, to be the best version of themselves.
Right.
So that's a broad,
right.
that's a bigger
perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I can say this, man. You know, I agree with that perspective like 100%, man. You know, because I had a job, you know, and I have a job now. But when I first started driving Uber, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really had no purpose for doing it, you know? It was just like, okay, I'm doing this. I got extra money. Oh, well. You know what I mean? But it wasn't really no why for it. You know, I didn't have no purpose for it until I figured out, you know, the reason that I was doing it. But
exactly.
before I had a purpose or a reason why that I was doing it, you know, I was just doing it for nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like most of the time, man, we get caught up in doing things and we don't really have a reason why we're doing it.
And that's exactly one of the reasons why it makes it harder for us to accomplish goals.
Right.
Because, okay, let's take it to the next level, bro. Okay, we got over, you know, knowing your reason why versus knowing your purpose of why you're doing the thing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the difference between those two is vision. You know, you have more vision. You got to have more vision to know what your purpose is versus just knowing the reason why you want to do a thing.
Right.
Okay, now we're going to take it a step further. You know, part of being persistent is actually having vision and knowing what you're looking for.
Right.
You know, you got to actually know what you want.
Right.
You can't be persistent towards something you don't want.
Right.
Because you're not going to go after it.
Right.
So step one to actually building a persistent attitude is actually knowing what you want.
Right.
And so knowing your purpose, which is your vision, having a vision of what you actually want, it builds persistence because you know the outcome.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know that vision that you're going to get gives you direction.
Right.
And that's where you're going to get willpower from.
Right.
Your drive from. Knowing what you want gives you, knowing what you want is going to give you that drive.
Right. Right. That's going to create the persistent mindset. You know what I mean? Because because you understand like the complete outcome, you know, and once you understand the outcome, like that's going to create the more persistence it creates.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And this thing came to me, man.
Okay.
Like once you understand the destination, everything that happens between now and then, it's okay. That creates a great level of persistence. You know what I'm saying? That creates that, oh man, my leg hurt. but I still got to get there.
Exactly. That's a great point you brought up, because I put it like this. We have a saying, right, that we use: fall in love with the process.
Mm.
You know, you saying you can't fall in love with the process without knowing the result you're going after.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Part of the reason why people don't enjoy the process is because they don't really have a clear vision, or they don't know what they want yet.
Right.
So you can't carry through with it.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
definitely
bro.
that's definitely because see, without a vision of the direction that you're going in, without a vision of the outcome, without a vision, you know, of the final result, like without a vision, like you got to really have a vision to have a persistent mindset, you know, towards whatever goal you're trying to attain. Because persistence, man, is gonna be the level of persistence that you put towards your goal is formulated by knowing what the outcome is and how important it is to you. You know what I'm saying?
Also, man, we want to make sure that we're actually giving them steps, like practical steps
Most
on how to
definitely.
build persistence. You know what I'm saying?
Most
And
definitely.
we want you guys to stay with us, because right now we are just having a conversation about persistence. And the comment section is open. We really want to interact with you guys and get you guys involved in this conversation, because we don't want to just be talking about problems without actually giving solutions. The only reason we're talking like this and conversating about the topic of persistence is to actually show you where you actually can do better on that area. And you know, we actually are bringing on a new segment to the podcast, you know, once we hit 30 minutes, of where you can access questions. And all we ask for you to do is just to make sure that your questions or topics has everything to do with personal development, because we are personal development experts. And so everything that we talk about, we're shining light on how to get better personally, you know, character wise, personality wise, how to get through this and how to get through that. We're just giving pointers, and we want to get your perspectives as well. So yes, we do give you practical steps on how to build persistence, but we got to give you some type of testimony to show you how, you know what I'm saying, to incorporate this in your everyday life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Truly. And I have I'm not sure. Is it McCall? I'm not sure how to pronounce
I don't know why the comments not showing up on here, bro. I don't see none of the comments on here, but it's good that you have it.
Yeah.
So the next thing, oh, we got a question.
Well, nah, I mean, that's just
We're gonna wait.
comment.
Okay. For all of those who have questions, if you want to leave it in the comment section, that's fine. Because as soon as this show hits 30 minutes, we're gonna start doing our segment question list, and that's where we'll go. We'll go to the comments and actually take questions and spend at least 5 to 10 minutes talking about it. But let's take it to the next level, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give it some depth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because one of the big reasons why we can't persist is because of fear.
True that.
And you know, fear is an emotion.
Definitely, man.
And it's a very mental thing.
Right.
Because most of the things that we fear is because of something that's not actually happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you taking something that has happened,
right,
and making it present.
Right. And I say, and with that, with you saying that, man, you know, a lot of times we overthink.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Overthinking creates that fearfulness. You know what I mean? And it actually like blocks it blocks the will to continue going. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
it blocks it out. Like, don't try to think so much about it. Just go. Just do it.
Hey, action is the only thing that trumps fear. You know what I'm saying? And there's so much that goes into persistence before you even get persistence. But I'm saying, like, these are things that we actually fight with on a daily basis.
Right, man.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to doing something that you've never done before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The fear of the unknown. And I wanted to make this point, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're not afraid of yesterday because we already know it.
Right. We done been there and done that.
We know the results of yesterday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We know how yesterday made us feel.
Right.
But see, the thing that fear comes in that is not knowing.
Right.
And see, that's where you have to have faith.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
man.
all of this goes into persistence. You got to have the things that you don't know. That's the reason why fear comes, because you don't know the outcome.
Right.
So that's why you got to have vision. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
All of these things makes up persistence.
Definitely.
Because if you don't have vision, you don't know where you're going.
Right.
And see, when you don't know where you're going, you won't go.
Right. You won't go.
You don't have a destination.
Right, because it's unfamiliar.
Exactly.
It's unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar. And then that's another thing. Like, it's important to whatever you're trying to attain, like, study it. Like, get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, study people that are where you want to go. Like, look at their testimony, study what they've done. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Reading you can read biographies.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
You know what I mean? Like, that's another practical step. You know what I mean? You can watch YouTube videos, you know, and whatever, you know, lane that you're going in. You know what I'm saying? And then that fear of the unknown won't be so prevalent, you know, in your mind, because you know the objective that you're trying to meet.
And you know what you want.
Right.
And see, that's really the key to it, man. That's really the key to this, bro. The key to this is actually knowing what you want.
Right.
Because it's easy for us to say what we don't want.
Oh yeah.
Man, you can write a whole page full of the things that you don't want.
Right.
But it's very few people that actually can tell you what it is they actually want.
Yeah, man.
So when you actually know what it is that you want, bro, to the point where you know how to get it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not enough, okay, I just like this. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
right.
But when you want something to the point where you really, really want it, where you have a burning desire to get it, you know what I'm saying? It creates something within you.
Right. It's like a fire.
So you're gonna want to know how to get it.
Right.
So, okay, the first step is knowing what you want.
Right.
I'm gonna give you some tangible steps on how to increase your persistence. Number one is actually knowing what you want. Right. Because you're not going to go after something you don't want.
Right.
So you got to have a clear vision of what you want. And knowing what you want is going to give you direction of how to get it. So number two is knowing how to get what you want. That gives you that vision and direction also.
Right.
So all of this is going to create a discipline, a willpower for you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So by you knowing what you want and know how to get it, you know how to get there, you know what needs to be done, you know what you shouldn't do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that still gives you a sense of knowing the outcome. Right. No, you're not a prophet. No, you don't know the future. But because you know what you want and you know how to get it, they gave you some kind of vision and direction, so you know where you're going.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So that makes it easy for you to go through tough situations in the process. That's how you fall in love with the process.
Right.
Because you know the end result.
Right.
So it don't really matter what you got to go through in between time, because you know the end result. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And a lot of times we go after things without, you know, we don't have a plan. So how can you persist through something you didn't plan for?
Right, man. That don't make no sense at all.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense at all, man. Because in order to have a persistent mindset, you know, to attain a certain goal, man, you have to be familiar with that goal.
Like you just said, you got to study it.
Yeah.
Everything you want. Okay. Number one was knowing what you want. That's tangible.
Right.
You have the ability already in you, you know, to be able to figure it out. You got to figure out what you want, man. That's first step. First and foremost, before, you know, you go after anything. I don't care if you do work a job. I don't care what calling you know, your profession is, or anything that you do in life. You knowing what you want, it enables you, you know what I'm saying, to get through whatever it takes. It enables you to do whatever it takes to get to your goal.
Right.
So that's why number one is knowing what you want. Number two is knowing how. Knowing how to get what you want, because you can want what you want so bad to the point where you become obsessed with it.
Oh, definitely.
You become obsessed with it to the point where you'll do your research. Right. I want this so bad. I need to get tangible steps on how to get to where I want to go.
Right.
So first, you know what you want. So second, you know how to get it. It gives you direction.
Right.
All of this is going to go towards you building a drive, because You started out with what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Who don't want to go after what they want?
Mm-hmm.
I believe everybody on this earth, bro, got a desire on what they want to do.
Definitely.
And you knowing what you want to do makes it that much easier for you to go after it.
Right.
So that's all persistence is, bro. Persistence is just a matter of you knowing what you want and knowing how to get it, and having a reason, having purpose behind the reason you want to do this.
Right. And then not knowing what you want. And I'll say this, man, before you know what you want,
mm-hmm.
you got to know who you are.
Booyah.
You know what I'm saying? Like once you know who you are, then you can figure out the direction that you want to go in. You know what I'm saying? But we lose our identity once we fill out an application and start working on a job, and we get tied up with everything else. Every other mindset. We kind of lose ourselves, but we already don't know ourselves.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying? And I can say that just by experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you lose yourself. I heard a saying. It said life is like Tetris. Once you fit in, you disappear.
Man, that's deep.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
say that again, bro.
I heard a saying, and it said life is like Tetris. Like once you fit in, you disappear. Now, not only do you disappear to your surroundings, but you disappear to your own self. You can't even find yourself because you lost in the crowd, because you fit in.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean? So you lose before you even gain, because you don't know first and foremost who you are. That's gonna create the direction. And then you're gonna know what you want. And then you're gonna seek how to get what you want.
Wow.
But first and foremost, you gotta know who you are.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been on jobs, and then we just talking. I've always been on jobs where I was with familiar people. You know what I'm saying? I worked with people that was able to like nudge me. If I started going in the wrong direction, they started nudging me.
Right.
But after a while, like I started being in places where I was by myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you have to be the one with the light. But how can you stand by yourself if you don't know?
Exactly.
Yourself? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Hey, that's real true.
Like real talk, man. Like, and this personal. You know what I'm saying? But these are like obstacles. These are just obstacles that kind of disallow us, from having a goal or an asset that we want to reach. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, man, you got to just know who you are.
Man, that's a big point, and I appreciate that point. I appreciate that point big time, man, because knowing who you are, that really, you won't even know what you want without knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why you see people who are pretending. We got pretenders. We got fake people.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
that's why fake people can never just stay still.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They are always busy because they don't have
keep up.
Not knowing yourself enables you to have vision.
Right.
Because you don't know what you want.
Right.
You don't know what you want. You want to be who this person is.
Right.
You want what this person got.
Right.
You're trying to be everybody but yourself.
Right.
So how you gonna know what you want when you're not even being you?
Right. That's man.
How you gonna know what you want but you being somebody else?
Right, man. Right.
So that's a real big point. And I also want to say, man, the manufacturer, which is the creator, has already put inside of you whatever you need to succeed.
Right.
It's just the mindset, what we go through in life and the systems that's in this world, it deters us away from who we are.
Right. From not even just it deters us away from who we are, but it deters us away from even trying to discover like who we are. You know what I'm saying? Like social media is crazy, man. I was talking to you the other day, man.
Yeah, bro.
Like social media, every picture got to be perfect. Everything got to be perfect. Like people use filters that even make themselves look perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my own life, You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bruh. Like I ain't, you know, every moment ain't perfect.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not like that. It ain't what it looked like. It ain't what it looked like. But it's just you have to put yourself in a position to create a persistent mindset. You know what I mean? You have to put yourself in the lane to be able to create persistence in your life. And that only comes from experiencing hardships. You know what I'm saying? And not only experiencing them, but making it through them. You know what I'm saying? Like once you like a hurdle runner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people make it all the way through the hurdles. Some people trip over the hurdles.
True that.
But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Like, is you gonna stay down there?
Or you gonna get up?
Or is you gonna get up? But that's, you know.
Hey, bro. You know what's crazy, man? The mind is really crazy because of it's the mindset that really makes you who you are. And I want to talk about having a winning attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Having a winning attitude.
Right.
And you know, how do you have a winning attitude?
Right.
First off, bro, we have to get in the habit of looking at ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So a winning mindset can only be gotten by actually getting obsessed with improvement. You see what I'm saying? Because like we said on the last podcast about confidence.
Right, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It takes that attitude. It takes that want to improve that's going to create that confidence within you.
Right, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. To want to get up and keep on going.
Exactly. And in doing that, you're going to learn different things about yourself.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, when you get in the habit of improving, bro, things start coming out about yourself like that.
Yeah.
Because once you start wanting to improve, bro,
yeah,
you start seeking and searching yourself, and things start coming up. You start learning more. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you are opposed to looking in the mirror, or if you are opposed to making improvements, then you'll never see that. You'll never see yourself.
Right.
So that's what it all boils down to, bro. Your mindset comes from, you know what I'm saying, work. You see what I'm saying? You have to work on yourself, bro. This stuff don't just pop up because we were taught our whole life to look outward. You see what I'm saying? We wasn't taught to look at who we are or what we have to offer. We was always taught to look at such and such and such, such and such and such, such and such and such. Do this and do that. Your grandma did this, so you know what I'm saying. We got to keep the tradition going. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really look at ourselves growing up. So that's a habit that we have to get into doing, bro. We have to look at ourselves and say, hey, look, this is the life I want to live. How can I do this? Right. I know I'm not where I want to be right now. So what do I need to do in order to get there? Right. So, and you have to start with you.
Right, man. And that's where your why gonna come from.
Exactly. Bro, all of this stuff will be revealed just by you looking at yourself. Right. This goes from your gift, the gift that God gave you that you don't know that you have. You know, the same gift that the world made you forget by giving you a job. Right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the gift that God gave you, bro, you will learn what they are once you start improving yourself. Like these things will start revealing themselves to you, bro, because you're actually giving that energy off. Right. Like, I want to find out why I'm here. I want to find out why I'm living. I want to find out what my talents and gifts are. All of these things could be answered if you just seek. Just seek. Right. And get in the habit of, get in the habit of making improvements. I know right now that everybody on this podcast has something that they know right now that you can think about that they can improve at. All 9 people. Everybody that's watching this podcast right now, I know for a fact that you can name at least one thing that you need to improve in right now. And you know, and we get in the habit of wondering why we aren't what we are in life.
Right. You know, man.
You know, once you start looking at yourself and you start making improvements, bro, that's how you're going to get there.
Then. See, oh my God. That's why the bottle's so full. That's why it's so full at the bottom. But at the top, it's a lot of room.
Exactly.
It's
man.
a lot of room.
A lot of room.
There's
man.
a lot of room at the top, but the bottom is like it's so crowded and congested.
Man, what?
You know what I mean? Because of the fear of being different.
Mindset.
You got to want to step out and change the environment. You know what I'm saying? And I was on an Uber trip the other night, and I was having a conversation with this guy, and he was talking about how the management on his job wants these requirements out of the employees, and if they don't want to do it, we'll just fire them and get somebody else to do the job. You know what I'm saying? And people will accept that. You know what I'm saying? People will accept that. Like, I have to do this. I have to do this because I need a job. I have to do this because I need a job. I have to let people step on me because I need a job. And he said one thing to me, and like it's been sticking with me, man. He said, man, this world has done a great job of making people feel like crap about themselves.
Hey, man. Say that again.
He told me that this world has done a great job of making people feel like crap about themselves and feeling that they have to accept the treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like this, all of this comes from not knowing who you are, not knowing what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't consider yourself valuable.
And you are.
Like, we're very valuable.
And that's how you're going to persist. This is how you're going to, knowing who you are is how you're going to persist, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get to know what's really in you and the powers that you have mentally, you know what I'm saying? And being aligned spiritually, once you know your powers, like, once you know who you are and know what you're worth, that's going to enable you to really get through, bro.
Right. Because
you'll start knowing you can.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Once you know what's in you, bro, you'll know you can.
Right.
Even though it'll be hard, you still gonna have that same drive.
Right.
Because you know you can.
Exactly, man. And that's gonna be push.
Exactly.
That's gonna be push. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm still going.
Exactly. And I want to mention this right before we go into our segment, Question Us.
Okay.
Hold on with your questions. We're gonna go to the comment section in just a few. We said we was gonna do it at the 30-minute mark, but I want to talk about the mindset of a lion.
Good.
Right before we go into questions and answers and the topics that make sure now before we get into the segment, make sure that all of your questions and topics has to do with personal development, because we're not on here just taking all types of topics and all types of questions.
Yeah.
We are personal development experts, and we can give you pointers on how to get better personally. So please make sure your questions line up with actually who we are as a business. So thank you. So, okay, now back to the mindset of a lion. And I think this right here should help anybody persist. Anybody persist. Because the lion is called what?
King of the jungle.
The king of the jungle. But let's talk a little bit about what lions are not. Let's talk about what lions are not. Let's talk about what lions are not. So this don't give nobody an excuse. This gives nobody an excuse to make an excuse about not doing what you're supposed to do, because the lion is the king of the jungle, but the lion isn't the smartest in the jungle.
Definitely not.
It's not the smartest.
Definitely not.
Not the fastest.
Definitely not.
Not the strongest.
Definitely not.
Not the quietest.
Right.
It's so many things we can add to that list, man.
Right.
But it's still called the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
And you want to know why? Because of the mindset of the lion.
Right.
The lion goes after everything he pursues with the mindset of I will overcome it. Right. Whatever the obstacle is, if he's hungry, he know that he gotta go kill something to eat.
Right.
He don't look at his prey like, oh, you too big. He don't look at his prey like, oh, I can't attack him because he's too smart.
Right.
Or I can't attack him because he probably sit on whatever the case may be. Lions don't make excuses.
Right.
Lions don't make excuses. Lions make adjustments, bro.
Right.
if they're going after an animal that's too big, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna find out a way where they can bag the animal down into a corner where it can't do anything.
Right.
Or they're gonna get two of his buddies, two or three of the other lions gonna come and attack that one big lion.
Right.
They always got a plan to get the job done. That's what made them a king, bro.
Right.
They are the most persistent animal in the jungle.
Right.
That's what made them king.
Right.
So I say that to say that. To say this, I mean, how you look, the way you live, what race you are, what job you work, what profession you have, it don't matter. It's all about the way you think.
Right.
So there's not nothing you can do physically that'll make you persistent. It's all about how you think about yourself.
Right. It's the mind.
It's the mindset what makes a person persistent. Right. So you have to get in that mindset of being obsessed with improvement. So you'll get to the point where you want what you want. You'll know what you want, know how to get what you want, and that'll create that willpower and that discipline to keep going when bad times come, bro. When tough times come, that's what's gonna get you ready. You knowing what you want, knowing how to get it, and knowing why you're going after it.
Exactly.
You have a purpose behind what you're doing, so that's what's going to drive you, bro.
Right.
And you know the destination. You know exactly what you want, where you want to go, where you want to be.
Right. How you like. You got to know that, you know. But it all starts from the head. It all starts from the head. You know what I'm saying? Like my hand wouldn't have went up if my brain didn't say, "Put your hand up."
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The grass can't grow until rain come down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it all starts with the mind. You got to change the mindset. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
See,
bro.
like it's so many. Oh my God, man! It's so many damaged minds. That's why I say, like the mind. See, the reason the mind is a terrible thing to waste is because of like what it's capable of becoming.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? like man, it's the world is full of smart people.
Right.
Like it's not smart because like, yeah, I was born at Grady Hospital. No. No, it's not smart because they're not smart because they're not knowledgeable because yeah, my mama drives a Mercedes Benz. No.
Nah.
They're intelligent and smart because of the things that were put in there. You know what I mean? That actually influence the body to move in this one specific direction.
Exactly, bro. So now that we see, man, it's 7 minutes after 30 minutes. We're at a 37, 38-minute mark. So now it's time to go into our segment, Question Us. So this is a segment where, you know what I'm saying, we take either two questions or two topics and we talk about for at least 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But make sure the question or the topics that you guys are, you know, bringing up has to do with personal development, because we are a personal development company. And it's our goal, and it's our ultimate goal is to empower you to be a better you.
Yeah.
So anything that you need, you know, you have questions on that will help you or add value to you, just ask in the comment section, and we'll spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about this question or this topic. So anything,
okay,
say the comments.
So it's just, I think it's Michael. It was like a testimony, but it wasn't a question.
Oh, I know her, bro.
Who is it? Is it McCall?
I think she's from California, I believe. But she was the first person that was coming. You remember the first podcast? She was coming.
Oh yeah.
She talked about when we started talking about lending, and she started saying that we are healing too.
Right.
It's the same person.
She was okay. Yeah, she just had a testimony. And she was just talking about
Yeah, read that. Make sure you read it out loud too.
Okay, this comment is from I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but is either McCall, Landell, Masuro.
Excuse that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. She's watching, so
right. Don't be mad. Don't be too critical on me. You know what I'm saying? But she said how you guys encourage confidence in the first video I watched. I went out and had confidence to find a job that I really wanted. And I got the job, and I have been persistent in my performance. and a new opportunity has been offered to me as of today. I have to be persistent in my performance in order to walk into the opportunity. You guys keep on doing what you're doing because it helped me for real.
In real life.
Right.
In real life. And I'm so thankful for her, sharing that testimony. Reply to a comment and say thank you, you know what I'm saying? Because we really appreciate, her sharing this testimony, because we're not on here just talking. We're showing y'all that's a prime example of, if you use the steps, it goes for anybody. It don't just go for people that's just on this podcast. Like, anybody could use the steps that we are talking about, because it works all the way across the board. Like, don't matter what kind of job you have, no matter what kind of professional calling that you have. Like, these things actually work. So we really appreciate her, for actually doing it instead of just listening to the podcast. I thank you for actually believing in yourself.
Right. That's the main objective.
Real.
It's not about, like, this ain't about likes. This ain't about shares. This ain't about views. Like, we're here to help. Like, I don't like, and nothing else matters. Like, nothing else matters. That's why you have to know why. You have to know why. You have to know what you want. You have to know why you want it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna lead you to continue in it.
Hey man, winners is just wired differently. Winners is just wired differently, man. I know we say a cliche saying, you know what I'm saying, quitters never win and winners never quit. But I'm saying, like, winners are literally wired differently, bro. We don't like to be defeated.
Definitely.
We don't like to be defeated, man. But we still waiting for you guys. Does anybody have a topic or a question that they would like to ask? We still going through the comments,
Yeah.
Any other comment?
You say big.
We really want you guys to interact with us, man, because this is the new segment that we're introducing to you guys. Any type of question on what we talked about today, or just anything that you have in mind about personal development and getting better as a person, or, something about anything that you need help with, man.
Okay. Siobhan Poe.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I didn't get a chance to read her inbox.
Okay, but she said she wanted to ask the question, how to get to the point of self motivation after being broken for so long.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, that's a lot of personal, you know what I'm saying? That sounds like it's a lot of personal things that you have to get answered. Because you made a point by saying you've been broken for a long time. Is this something you want to talk about on the podcast? If you are still watching Siobhan Poe, is this something like you would want to talk about, like live on the podcast?
Because it could be personal, it could be personal, like, no doubt, But from my experience, I'll just say this from my experience, I've had a whole lot of, situations that I've had to, come through that were pretty intense, man. But it took a lot of prayer for me, and at one point in time, I became close with Jack, and I got tired. I got tired of being so close with him. And for you that don't know Jack, Jack last name Daniels. I just got tired of being like friends with him. And I had to understand, that I don't have to, be in this place. Like, I don't have to do this to be at peace, because every time I do it, I have to do it again. But it took a lot of prayer for me to make it through, these hard situations. And man, but I feel that it's different. It's different for each individual. It's different for each individual, because when you speak from that aspect, there are a lot of emotions involved. And but I can just say it just took a lot of prayer for me.
Hey, I do want to give you something tangible. I hope you're watching. Check the comments and see if she's live right now. But
Mm,
this is self-motivation. This is a self-motivation pointer.
mm,
First off, we want to look at how you start your days off.
mm.
What is your routine? You know what I'm saying? Is your routine healthy for you? Are you satisfied with your daily routine? Because I think it'll be helpful. Well, I know it'll be helpful if you actually sit down and got a sheet of paper and started writing, about things that you actually want to do. And the good thing for you to do every day is to listen to personal growth, listen to motivational speakers, listen to things that's going to get your mind, on a positive vibration. Because, like we said earlier, a lot of things that we go through in life really depends on how we think about
Mm,
it. It
right,
really depends on how you think about it. So you want to start emptying out all of those negative emotions.
right,
Because I know you said that you've been broken a lot. You've been broken for so long. So since you have bad experiences, you want to start getting that negativity out of your mind.
right,
So one way of getting that negativity out of your mind is actually listening to positivity as much as possible.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
You want to get around positivity as
right,
much as possible
right,
because so many negative things has happened over time.
right.
And those things build up.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you start to get hard and it gets hard to change after doing things for
for
so
so
long.
long. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So my advice to you, Shannon Poe, and I'll reply to your inbox. I didn't get a chance to see it and reply to it yet. But the pointer is I need you to get a sheet of paper and write down the goal of where you want to be. Write down the goal of where you want to be. And I want you to add listening to positivity throughout your day. Add that to your daily routine because we want to start getting your mind to a place where you can think positive.
Right, right.
So we can forget what happened. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to forget, but you
It
can get
won't.
over. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? You can get over and get stronger than what happened to you over time.
right,
So the first step would be developing a positive mindset.
right.
So you can no longer think about, the negative energy that's attached to your past. So we can start putting more positive energy towards your future. So is there any more questions?
Definitely, definitely. I just got another thing to add, and stay away from people that support the way you feel. Just make sure you stay away from people that support the way you feel, that support the negativity. You know, make sure you dismiss that company. But I got Vic Beats. What up, Vic? Vic said, "What do you do when persistent actions don't lead to the results you want?"
Well, first off, you got to check what you're doing. If the actions that you're doing not leading to the results that you want, then there's something wrong with your actions. Point blank, period. There's no way you could be doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing and you don't get the results that you desire. It's something wrong in your actions that you're taking. So what you'll have to do is nothing wrong with going back and tracing your steps and finding out, what I'm saying, what did I do to get the results that I have? It
Right.
don't mean quit.
No.
It don't mean, hey, say the heck with it.
Right.
That just means that you have to be more deliberate on your actions because you can be persistent, but don't necessarily mean you've been persistent on the right thing.
In the right direction.
Right. You gotta be on the right. You gotta be in your purpose, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So everything that you do, your actions gotta be lined up with what you want.
Right.
So if you're not getting the results that you desire, it's because you're not doing the actions to actually get it. And then also, maybe you are doing the right actions. So all I got to say about you doing the right actions and not getting the right results is because you just haven't gotten there yet. You got to keep going.
Right.
You can't quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That just means you just got to keep going and going and going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a time limit on the results you want.
No, it's not.
Unless you put a time limit on it. But what I'm saying is it's whatever it takes,
Right.
however long it takes. Whatever it takes, that's what you want to do to reach your goal. So if you're not getting the right results, it's because you might not be doing the right actions, or it's just a matter of time. You just can't quit. You just got to go until you finish.
Right.
You got to keep going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the answer to Big Beat's question.
And Siobhan said, "Thank you."
Oh, she was on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think she was online. I didn't see the green light. But she said thank you.
Okay, great, man.
But
great.
yeah. And I was gonna say another thing to add to Vic's answer. A lot of times we don't self-assess. Just do some self-assessment. You know what I'm saying? Do some self-assessment, to go back to actually see what it is that you're doing to get to what you're pursuing. You know what I'm saying? To see if you're doing the necessary things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're moving up too high and we need to come down, and some other things that we need to learn about, what it is we're pursuing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we could be in the wrong area, you know what I mean? And we need to be over here watching so and so, but we're paying more attention, to the one that's kind of out of the range of the steps that you haven't taken yet. So self-assessment,
Hey, we want to the last thing we want to do on this podcast is make it harder for you to accomplish your goal. So we want to make sure we're making this thing as simple as possible for you guys to understand. So we're gonna go back over the questions again, just to make sure you guys understand what we are saying, because it's pretty simple once you make up your mind with what you want, bro. I mean, okay, like, what was the first question? We just gonna do a recap because we coming up on an hour pretty soon.
Okay. You see that? That was the
Okay, Vic commented and said silent. Yeah, bro, because you're gonna get your results you want, man, if you do the right actions long enough. You just gotta hold out.
Right. And another thing, man, you're gonna get resistance as well. But resistance is all a part of the process. Because without resistance, there's no strength. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So if every situation is all flower beds of Eve, you know what I mean, what's the worth? You know what I mean? I believe anything worth having is worth the fight. You know what I mean? Or worth the fight to get, or worth the fight to keep. You know what I'm saying? So if you love something and you want to attain something, it's gonna come with a fight. You know what I'm saying? So without resistance, man, it's no strength.
Hey, and you know that fight that you're gonna meet, when you going after something, that fight is what creates that person that you're supposed to be to keep what it is you're gonna get. You see what I'm saying? Because if you cheat or take shortcuts on what it is that you want, once you get it, you're not going to be the person that's supposed to keep it, because you skipped all of the necessary things that you was supposed to go through to make you that person to appreciate what you have to the work you put in.
Right.
But see, when you don't do the work and you just don't go through anything and everything is just getting handed to you, you really can't keep it. You're not going to care for it. It's not going to be of value to you. So part of you taking care of what you want, man, and appreciating it when you get it is that process in between. So that's what perseverance and what persistence come from, bro. Is that a matter of you knowing where you want to be, bro, and going through things on the way is just going to make you be that person to keep what it is you're going after.
Right.
So is it any more? Let me see.
Yeah, just watch the comments. I think that's only a couple questions. Well, he had the only question. What's she say? You guys on shooting stuff. Going on shoot. And I had the podcast and took it to heart. I don't know. No.
We're looking at the comments still, see if you guys have any more questions. It looks like, is it any more questions or topic? We want to spend like 5 to 10 minutes talking about it. And if we already done answered 2 questions.
Yeah, so
that is 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that is 2.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed it. We really enjoy interacting with you guys, and
right.
We're gonna actually do that every single podcast. So if you have something that you have brewing inside of you throughout the week, and you know we're gonna be on every Monday night, so just bring the question to the podcast if it's something that's really bothering you, something that you think will really help you, and we can help you with. If you don't think we can help you with it, don't bring it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm pretty confident that if it has anything to do with personal development, we can give you a helpful answer. So anybody, you know, throughout the week, if you got something that you want answered or you got something that you want to talk about, don't be afraid to bring it to the podcast because we give you guys a space because you are important. We want to give you guys a perspective and we want to interact with you because, hey, we love you and we want to empower you. I don't care if you never met me before in real life. You never saw me in person. It doesn't matter because my purpose of living is to give off this type of energy, bro. I live to do this. I live to give off what I'm giving off right now. And that's to build anybody under the sound of my voice. To build you or add value to their life in any type of way. That's why I live. And so this is why we're doing this podcast, to empower you guys, to interact with you guys, and to help all of you grow while we are growing on a daily basis. So, man, it's coming to a close. We really appreciate all of you guys for getting on. Just like we started off rough with the podcast. You know, we couldn't get a good time, but you know, persistence.
Right.
There's another reason why you gotta remain persistent because we have everyday lives too. We don't just actually, you know, just do a podcast every Monday. You know, so like he has a whole family, you know what I'm saying? Like we have other things that go on in our life which causes us to be persistent in business also.
Right.
You know, so hey, we gotta be persistent just like you guys gotta be persistent. But anyway, it's coming to a close. We appreciate you guys for coming. You know what I'm saying? We look forward to seeing you guys next Monday and interacting with you again. We won't reveal the topic. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna reveal the topic. But best believe it's gonna be another powerful topic that we can go in depth with and actually give you tangible and practical steps on how to get better at whatever it is we're talking about.
Right.
So hey, I'm the CEO, Mr. John Best.
And I'm the CFO, Mr. George Riley Best.
And you already know what time it is, man. We're gonna see y'all next week.
Have a good night.